Hi, hello, welcome to Data Vidhyalaya. I'm Suresh Reddy. Yeah, so in the previous session, like we have gone through the setuping of the Python environment, okay, in the Google Colab environment, okay, and we have seen how to print the simple print statement, okay, and we have uh, seen all the whatever the things available in the tool, Google Colab tool and all that we have got the brief idea on that. So once you start practicing it now, you will have a clear picture of how to work on that and all. Okay. So in so far we have seen that. So in this video we will be going into the going into the particular topic called variables. Okay, so in this video we'll be mostly focusing on the variables. Okay, how to define the variable and how to assign a value to it and what are the naming conventions, so that we will be covering in this particular video. And if you have not been subscribed to the channel, please subscribe it, and if you like this video, please click on the like button. And if you want share with your friends or colleagues and all, know, you can share this video series. Okay, yeah, let's get into that. Yeah, so there is in Python, these variables we use it like to define it. We will use it mostly as the containers. Okay, so where we will be storing the data to it. Okay, we will store the particular data values to a naming entity called variables. Okay, so it acts as a storage device. Like variable, we can act it as a storage device, like where we can make it as like for example 10 is a value. Okay, we are assigning it to a variable called a. Okay, so a is the variable here. Okay, 10 is the data value, so we are assigning the particular 10 value to the a. So that's how we will be creating a variable. Okay, so in order to declare a variable, like just like just you can you can use some naming convention. Like we will get into that, what are the naming conventions which we need to take care, like before declaring a variable and all that, we can do that. Okay, so when you are declaring with a variable, okay, just assume that we are declaring with a variable named b. Okay, and we are adding a particular integer value. Let us assume that we are adding integer value called 15. Okay, so that's how the value has been assigned. Okay, if you want to type the print the particular variable which we have been created now, so that we can see that what is the value assigned to the particular variable b and all. Now we can use this. So that's how we can just create a variable. Okay, so here you will be having a confusion like why 15 has been assigned to b and all. So if 15 is a number, numerical value. So yeah, in Python, like if you are declaring a variable and assigning a particular type of the value to the particular variable, no, it automatically aligns to that particular data type. So we'll get into the concept of the data type in the next video. But so that's how it actually works. Like it will automatically judges like what is the data type that it is taking. Okay, so that's how that's how it clearly understands that particular variable, clearly understands that it added a data type of that particular number or string or integer or boolean and all. Okay, for example, if you want to know the type of the variable, so you can just add the type of this variable and you can see like what is the type of the variable. See, integer, so it stores the integer value. Okay, yeah, so variables are nothing but just the containers, like where we can store the data values. Okay, we can store the values of the data. Okay, here instead of values, we can make it as a like data values. Yeah, so So variables are container where we can store the value. Like that's how we can define a variable. We can declare it. Okay, and we can declare the variable and we can print the variable. Okay, so I have created another example like where we can create a name as a variable here, and data Vidhyalaya is the string value. Okay, we are storing that particular string value within the variable called name. Okay, so if you want to see if you want to see what is the value stored in that particular variable name called, it's a data Vidhyalaya. That's how we can create a variables. Okay, so in order to create a variables, like it's not like you cannot create it directly, like whatever the variable that you have now. So you cannot create it directly. Like it follows some naming conventions. Okay, we use particular naming conventions to create a variable. Okay, so it will be like it will be like it has some conditions. Okay, a variable name cannot start with a number. Okay, so it has to be started with a letter only, like a to z, or small a to capital Z, or small a to small z and all. That's how only we can start the variable name. And or else like we can use one of the character like called underscore character. Okay, we can create a underscore character and all to create a variable. And a variable name can only contain the alphanumeric, like uh, even though it starts with it start with an alphabetic letter, or else a underscore character. In the middle we can use it numbers or any special characters, anything you can use. Okay, so you can contain alphanumeric characters also within that. Okay, and these are case sensitive, like you cannot assign you assign a different names. Okay, for example, if you assign a value to a variable named name, and if you are calling that print a capital name and all, no, it will not provide the value. If whatever the naming conventions that you have been assigned, no, that particular name only will be available uh, 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 in that particular in value only will be available to that particular variable. Okay, you cannot change the naming conventions also. And these are case sensitive in the sense like, that's what I am saying. So you cannot give the different alphabets for the different variables. For example, here if you see name is different. Sorry, here if you see name is different where it has all small case letters. Here name this name is different where we have capital N as a capital N as a uh, means like N has been declared in the capital letters and the remaining and all is the small letter. Okay, whereas here name is the full name is in the capital letters. So these are three different variables. You cannot give like name as one variable, and when you are calling it, you cannot add the capital N to it, and you can not print the value or use that in any of the variable, use that in any of the functions and all. Okay, and a variable name cannot be of any Python keywords. Python keywords here in the sense like, for example, we call it as an identifiers. Okay, so where we for example we have if, else, while, print. So these are the some of the keywords. Okay, where we will be using for. So these we cannot use in these sorry def. So these we cannot use it in the use it as a variable names. Okay, it has to be different, like apart from the identifiers or the Python keywords that it has, no, you can add different names to the variables. So these are some of the things you need to keep in mind, like whenever you are defining a variable name, no. So you need to understand this. But it's like when you start programming and if you keep on experiencing it, no, if you keep on coding or writing the programs and all, no, you'll get used to this. It's not a big deal, but you need to make sure that it has to be a case sensitive and all these things you need to be make sure. Okay, and also like you can add for example, see how many ways like we can write the particular assigning this Python value to the variable. So for example, my name, all small letters I have used, my comma underscore character I have used, underscore as a starting letter we can use according to the second point. Okay, underscore we can use, and my underscore name as Python. Okay, small m in the starting and middle m name in the uh, in the middle, a capital N as a in the middle. Okay, so we can call this as a what we can call this as a camel case. So this is the camel case character. Okay, camel case mostly in when you are writing a program, no, in IT. So it is good practice, like when you define a variables in a camel case way. Camel case is nothing but where the first one will be we will be first character will be starting with the small case, and slowly we'll be increasing it with the capital K. For example, name, two words is there. No? M is the one word, and sorry, my is one word, and name is one word. Okay, so M is the small case that we have written. N is the capital case we have written. So that's how we can write. For example, my name is, for example, is my name is. So I we cannot write in the capital case. That we call as a camel case way of writing a variable. Okay, so this in the industry mostly we will use camel case letter. And for example, these are all the uppercase letters. Okay, my name, all the bold capital letters we have written here, and my name too also this is also possible. Why? Because can also contain alphanumeric. My name too is also we can define this particular variable like this. Okay, and for example, we can write it like this. Okay, where it is a Pascal way, I think. My name is. Okay, wherever the word starts with the wherever word starts with no, for example, my name is, M is capital, N is capital, I is capital. So this is another Pascal case way of defining a variable. Okay, so these are like standard ways, like mostly in the industry when you are writing a program now, you need to define the variables in the camel case. Okay, that depends on the project, but mostly it's a good practice to do that. Okay, and there is another way we can assign a values to a multiple variables. Okay, multiple variables in the sense like if you wanted to define it parallelly, like two three variables, if you want to define it parallelly, like for example, x comma y comma z. Okay, Python data Vidya has to be the values for the variables called xyz. So this is how we can define it parallelly, like where you can assign the values parallelly to it to understand it. Okay, and there is another way also we can do that. For example, x is equal to y is equal to z is equal to data. Okay, see how it comes. Yeah, this is another way, like if you wanted to create a two three variables with the same data value in it. Okay, if you wanted to keep the same data value in the different variables, that's this is how we can use, like x is equal to y is equal to z is equal to data Vidhyalaya. We can assign the data Vidhyalaya to all the three variables. Okay, so these are some of the this is how some of the examples we have been discussing, and this is how we can create a variables. Like it's like a basic. First, you need to create a variable, and then you will be starting the programming and all. So this is the first step you are entering into that. And variables are nothing but the containers, like where you can store the values, data values to it. It can be the values of any data type, whether it is a integer, string, boolean, or else list content. So we will come in the next way, next videos. You will be getting more detail and like what is the data type, how to cast the data type and all. So those things you will be getting. So here is how first we need to define a variable b, and we need to assign a value to it. Okay, and then we can use that variable uh, uh, in our program. Okay, and the third thing, the next point is that where you will be getting gradually when you start writing the definition functions. Okay, so defining the functions. Okay, so there will be a called a local variable and the global variable. Okay, global variable that is like another where you can understand, like local variable is like where you are you are using within a defined function and all. If it is a global variable where you are writing within a starting of the in a globally means like where you are writing in the defining it in the starting of the program, where you use in all the methods or definitions or functions and all. Okay, so that's how we can write the variables. So if you are clear on this topic, like please subscribe this channel. And that's the one. And coming to the next step is that we will be discussing about the data type section in the next video. So until then, happy learning, keep practicing. Okay, so that's very important. Like, even though if you are not practicing and just seeing this video, you can't get it until and unless you need to have a hands on it. Yeah. Until then, happy learning. Thanks.